Alright guys, here we are for first day of summer. We've got big plans today, so let's go ahead and jump on in. But I do want to take a couple things out. Actually, I don't know if I want to add anything, but I do want to take at least one or two things out that I now know I'm not going to use. I'll put that in here real quick just to compare something. And good, that's in. Where is it? Where is it? I want to put that in. We're not going to need those anymore. And we don't need course play today. Alright, so we got a big day today because it's the first day of summer, and I plan on doing some grass work today. But the first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of some stumps. And then we're going to need to take some wood up to the log cell point because we still have that load of lumber up there. But the first thing we want to do is get rid of these log stumps that are out here in the middle of our grass from where we cutted some additional logs up yesterday. We also have rain in the forecast, so we're going to do what I typically do when I do stump work, and that is go high in the sky and look for those telltale discs of stumps. Well, that's interesting that I'm way off on that one. All right. So when we get after we get going for a little bit more, I want to I saw something interesting real quick yesterday in the finances page. I wanted to bring it up, and I wanted to maybe mention it and see if anybody in chat has any great ideas as to how the numbers are adding up. Because it didn't look like the daily running costs were quite adding up the way I was expecting them to. Hey, old guy. How did your cityscaping work? There we are. I see Trucker Brad has officially started. I watched a few minutes of his first episode. Wow. Well, at least 5% lived to tell a story. Maybe they'll warn everyone else not to move into old guy farmer land. Looks like he was starting with some type of animals because I saw him when he was buying bales. Oh, he's got 3 sheep. Because he had like, I don't know. I guess he only bought 8. I guess they come in an 8 stack. I've thought about it, and I'll probably pick up sheep, but I'm going to wait until they're a bit cheaper. Since they're productive now, this is when they're the most expensive. Oh, and are you going to grind away? There we go. I saw Grizzly Bears. He had an episode where those red barrels were right there out in the middle of the field. Do you know what the deal with that is? They just spawn out there every so often, I guess. I think that's all the stumps in this area. We got a high in the sky view to make sure. We got cut a couple. We definitely cut a couple up here. So they go shooting off into the sky if something's close to them. I think it's rather it's rather convenient that the first day of summer, the first day that you can mow grass, the weather forecast has rain in it. It's also a very cold summer, given that it's a high of 46 degrees. The rain. Where's the rain at? It must be raining somewhere other than here. Apparently it can rain somewhere else on the map. We clearly don't have rain here. I've got some, on a different map, I've got something interesting related to the weather, and maybe you can comment on it since you've got some more experience with seasons. I've got a map that I just went into summer on, not this one obviously, and the air temp is something like, let's say, 50 degrees, and the ground temperature is let's say 50 degrees. Okay, so let's say they're the same. Tomorrow the forecast says the air temperature is going to be, let's say, 55 degrees, but it says the ground temperature is going to be 45 degrees. So I'm not really sure why or how the ground temp can drop if the air temp is climbing. Well, that one we're just going to leave there. This is the only stump grinder I've ever used, so I have no room of comparison. I guess there's a stump grinder for skid loader. Yeah, I've never used that one. Actually, I've got very little experience using any skid steer in the game. I got one once when I was doing something, and I thought it would be a good tool, but I found it was I had a hard time driving with it. Mostly because even though I have a steering wheel and pedal set, just like right now, I find myself driving with the keyboard without even thinking about it. I just put my fingers on the keyboard, and next thing I know, I'm driving with the keyboard. So a skid steer with a keyboard is a little difficult because it's you know, whips around so quick. But this one I find fairly easy to use. I find I get the best performance out of it when I drive over the stump. And I kind of come at it from you know, straight at it versus backing up over it. We're going to finish taking out our stumps here, and then we're going to run over to the sheep area, because I think we might have cut a couple trees over there still. And then we got some purchasing to do. Well, we got to take the... Oh, you got GrizzlyBearSims in chat now. I might need to bump your audio a little bit. How you doing there?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
How's everybody on your stream tonight?
Oh, we got Rubber Burner just showed up. And speaking of Rubber Burner, I found it absolutely hilarious the other day when he was on your channel and you were doing the contest, I think, and you basically was like, "When are you starting?" And I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. We've got Old Guy Farmer in chat.
Awesome.
And J.R. Brown is in chat. We got 10 people watching, but not a lot of people chatting up.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful evening here watching Farmer Klein's channel.
I invited Grizzly in because I thought it'd be fun to kind of chat it up with another contestant on the contest. Since we are running it fairly open, since it's got to be streamed, it's pretty much impossible for your progress to be kept any kind of a secret.
True.
But I did want to reassure you that I in no way feel that you are copying me by having the forwards or by doing anything else that I might have done.
All right. Well, good.
If anything, I see it as a compliment that it must mean that I did some good decisions, because obviously,
well, there you go.
If you're repeating what I did, then it must not be all that bad.
I think what they say is, what is it? Something like copying is the best form of flattery or something like that.
J.R. Brown says in chat he's really enjoying the two different styles of play.
Awesome. That's cool.
And Trucker Brad has officially started. I don't know if you've seen that.
I did. I saw his post on the Facebook page. And J.R. Brown, thank you so much for the wonderful comment that you left on one of my horseplay tutorials. I appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Yeah, Rubber Burner's correcting us. It's the phrase is imitation is the highest form of flattery. I've heard it as the best form of flattery, but either way, it's clearly a compliment.
Well, that's why we have Rubber Burner around, is to keep us honest.
I asked him earlier when he was going to start.
Yeah. And what did he tell you?
He's apparently still contemplating a strategy.
Hey, just dive right in, Rubber Burner. You can work your strategy as you go along.
J.R. Brown says you're welcome back to your compliment.
Yeah, I've got your chat pulled up here on, on my screen.
Well, famous Microsoft. I had a patch restart this morning, and prior to then, I had Discord piping through my headset, and that was piped into OBS through a different channel. But after the reset, it seems like you're piped in through the regular PC speakers. So I can't really do much with bumping you without bumping the whole game sound. And
yeah, well, don't worry about it. I was a little late getting out of the office tonight, and so I'm kind of doing two different things here. I'm watching your stream, watching your chat, talking to you. I'm stuffing my face here as well, trying to get a bite to eat. So, but I wanted to stop by and say hi to you and say hi to your stream there and watch you run into stumps.
I've got a... Is this stump ever going to go away? Sometimes you get these stumps that just take forever to go.
I have a bad habit of either cutting the stumps too short where it's hard for me to see them, or cutting them too long or too high where it takes a little bit longer to grind them up.
Well, that's why I'm practicing the drone angle.
Ah, okay.
Because I'm just looking for the round disc that's obviously not green.
There you go. That works.
And I will try not to drive off the cliff. Well, we got Darren Castle here.
Hello,
hey, Darren, how you doing?
Oh, looks like Rubber Burner just came up with a strategy in the last 5 minutes. Okay, well, I expect you to get a notice that you're going live here in about 10 minutes then. That'll give you time to get the map downloaded.
You give him credit for having some super good internet.
Yeah. Well, I've known Rubber Burner for maybe a year and a half or so now. He and I go back to virtual trucking days.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that this is the furthest I've made it in any season's play so far, so pretty much from this point forward, I'm making it all up.
Okay. Well, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Everything I learned from seasons, I learned by watching you.
Oh, well, don't hold that against me.
Oh, I won't. Just a few more stumps, and then we'll get on with some excitement. We still need to sell that load of wood.
All right then, Rubber Burner, then tomorrow night. Get a good night's sleep tonight and dream about your strategy. Get it all worked out in your dream, and then we'll expect you to go live with Old Guy Farmer single player challenge episode 1.
So I have put everybody's that I know that's in the contest. I put their channel link in the description. So once Rubber Burner puts up his episode, I'll add his channel to the link, to the list. Because I do know some people like to watch, as J.R. Brown said, some people like to watch alternate play styles.
Yeah, exactly.
You're taking the sheep angle. We got Old Guy Farmer taking the cow angle.
Yeah, I think he's going to do pretty much everything. I think he said last night in my stream, or he would eventually be doing all 3 animal types.
And I had mentioned earlier that I wasn't going to do animals, but I think I might pick up some sheep once they get a little cheaper, because I know that they're fairly expensive now, because they were expensive in spring because that's when they were productive.
Yeah, I watched your episode today, the most recent one that I guess you did last night. Heard your strategy about potential of getting rid of your sheep as soon as the sheep shearing season is over with. That's quite interesting. I kind of agree with that if it fits into the guidelines, and I wouldn't see why it wouldn't, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're required to sell everything by the last day. It doesn't really say that you have to keep everything until the absolute last day. Because the way I see it is the sheep are going to be the most valuable in spring to sell. So like on the last day of spring, you just sell them all back.
Right.
I think this is the last one we're going to grind. All right. So I do want everyone's assistance in helping me try to figure out an interesting... We've got a funky log crane over there. But I'm going to pull up, just for fun, the finance screen, because I'm having a hard time figuring this out. So I've noticed, basically the last 2 days I've done a whole lot of Ponzi Scorpion work. And vehicle running cost is only just under $800 a day for me. Yet, is there anything else that's a big negative? No. Yet, when you look at the Ponzi in the, where is it? In the store, it says it's $1,640 a day. So, I'm a little curious because I was expecting a much bigger daily finance hit by owning the Scorpion King than what I'm seeing in the finance menu. Because we definitely ran the Scorpion King almost
Well,
the entire day that one episode.
now keep in mind that doesn't the seasons mod do some things, adjust the pricing and stuff, maintenance pricing and running costs and stuff to better fit more realistic cost?
I don't know.
Maybe I just made that up, but I think that sort of sticks in my head as being a possibility that they have may have adjusted that. So that may be what you're seeing.
Oh, and I don't know if you were in earlier, but we had the sun was out and we had a wet crop come up.
Okay.
There wasn't a single drop of rain in the sky, and now the the clouds are rolling in. Yeah, cheaper is definitely better. I was just
Yeah.
I was just confused as to why the values were so much different than I was expecting. All right, we're gonna run up here, sell off our last load of wood, and get to making some purchases. This has to be my...
Rubber Burner was going to do Higher Hills tomorrow, but looks like his plans have changed. So it looks like he may be in.
I will look forward to watching it. We got Mark DuPont in the house now. I believe he's on a tape-delayed schedule for the contest.
Tape delay schedule?
Tape... Yeah, since he's got... apparently he's got some horrific internet, and Old Guy Farmer has agreed to allow him to submit his in a pre-recorded, uncut format.
Oh, good. Okay.
We're not colluding, Mark. I just thought it would be fun to bring Grizzly Bear in on an episode just to have a little chat with a competitor with respect to maybe ongoing commentary as to my horrific strategies, or where I may be doing things right or whatever, and plus I've been following Grizzly Bear for probably, I don't know, back you were playing Coldborough Park.
Yeah.
So that's been a while. And then you started Seasons. So I think I might have started watching you right after you started Lostburg.
Okay.
Or Lawsburg.
No, Lawfolds.
Yeah, that's it.
I never played Lostburg.
Yeah, Lawfolds.
I looked at Lostburg and I thought it looked kind of cool, but it was awfully pristine. It was a little bit too perfect. It was a little bit too new looking.
All right, so that was I guess that was about $30,000. That was a nice load. So once we get back to the farm, we're gonna make quick work of the $230,000 that we've got. We should probably tab into those trains and slow them down a bit.
Have you purchased your mowing equipment yet?
I'm about to.
Okay.
I've got the mindset that it's kind of the just-in-time inventory, so I'm not going to buy stuff until I need it. No need to have it sitting around waiting. Yeah, kind of the same philosophy on getting rid of the harvester before you need it.
Well, that was what Mark DuPont talked me into, so we'll see if that strategy works out.
I went and missed the door, the entrance, because I'm trying to figure out what Mark's saying. He's talking about nuggets and a soul. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I think he's echoing kind of what I said about Las Vegas, a bit too sterile. When you get all the nuggets, it gets a soul. I don't know about that, but it definitely was a little bit sterile when I took a look at it and kind of played around with it for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm like, I think I'll check out this Lawfolds map, and I was hooked. I spent 2 years on Lawfolds.
And you're about to spend 3 years on
I know.
on an edit.
Yep. And I said I would never play another Goldcrest Valley edit. And here I am. I've signed up for 3 years.
All right, so we are going to make some purchases. So 20, 30. I've got my eye on this one because it's 4 meters and it's $20 a day. Since we have the Ford, I can't run a front mower because I've got the weights and I don't have the horsepower to run. I can't run these backwards because this one and these, the only ones that will connect each other are these. They cost a fortune a day. They're 75 and 20, so that's $95 a day for them. 4 meters, 20. So this one seems to be the best deal for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy that one on up. Balers. So I was going to go with my absolute favorite square bale wrapper, but it's $220 a day. And then I was going to go with this super cheap John Deere baler, but it's $100 a day, so that's $230. Then I thought, well, this Massey Ferguson, it's only $45 a day. But again, it's $220, so that's $265 a day. So we're going to have to go with the combo wrapper baler at $210 a day. I'm not too keen on the, we'll go with pink just for fun. I'm not too keen on round bales, but we'll do that.
I guess they're factoring in the cost of the wrap and everything with that maintenance, because that seems awfully steep for that amount of maintenance per day on something as simple as a bell wrapper.
So I don't know if I need a windrower. I think I might, because I think the mower is wider than the baler will take. Now this little Pottinger is only 4.6 meters and it's $10 a day. Not a bad deal. But then I thought about this nice Krone Swadro. It's $85 a day, so it's a bit more expensive. And I was actually really going to go with this New Holland, this little New Holland rake, which is a rake just like what I used to use when I was back in high school doing hay. But that darn thing is $70 a day, so that's just not going to work. So we're going to go with the smallest Kuhn rake. And then how much we got left? $54,000. And we need a trailer to pick all this stuff up. So we're going to go with the flatbed custom road train, the B trailer. It's $30,000. It's $10 a day, and it holds 36 round bales. So we're going to go ahead and get a back attacher. We're going to make it black. It's going to have wide tires, black rims, chrome, and auto load. So there you go. So that should be everything we need. Oops, wrong one. We're going to strong on the shop into delivering it all at no added cost.
Yeah, they do a good job about that.
Well, you know, you spend $200,000 with them in one day. They should deliver it.
Exactly. Good night, Rubber Burner. Looking forward to seeing your take on this challenge.
I think that's everything. Yep. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look over here. Make sure that we have space to get out. Oh, old guy Farmer told me all about those red bales, or those red barrels, and what the deal with those are. Apparently, if you have something parked too close to the shop, the barrels will explode on map load up, and they'll go who knows where.
Okay, then I guess that's what I experienced then, because they were setting out in the middle of the field.
Yeah, they were in the same spot for me when I came in.
And it's only happened one time, but I will admit I had a few things that I left parked by the shop, and I guess since I stopped doing that barrel explosion.
And on a, I guess on an artistic note, I really liked how the starting equipment, the bucket was on the trailer. I thought that was a nice touch, as opposed to just being lined up somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Mark's saying our brother owns a shop, so we should get the employee discount.
That would help.
Or maybe that's why we can, maybe that's why we can buy things and return them within an hour and not have to pay a dime for them. Because the auditors haven't realized what's going on yet. I'm glad I didn't want to buy any horse equipment because it just went on sale. There's my barrels way down there in the field. So it's kind of like when Grizzly had the big bud stuff out on demo over on Lone Star.
Yep.
This mower ought to be interesting with courseplay on the fields once I get the once the fields are mowable, since it is a side mower. I'm sure I'll have to set it up with some type of offset. And then I don't know if you realize this, but I learned that you can not only drive through bushes like that, but I learned that silage bales actually have a variable market price with seasons.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about that.
So I was watching Ian Robinson's video, and he's in winter. He's in late winter, I think, and he took a whole bunch of silage bales off to sell. And he's playing on easy mode, but he got like $3,600 or something for his silage bales, and that's far more than the normal price is.
Right.
So it looks like silage will get you a good price in wintertime, and I suspect it probably gets you a bad price in the summer, just based on what would be market supply and demand.
That's interesting.
Mark has confirmed that you want to sell your bales in winter.
I think Mark's going to want a commission for all of his advice that he's given to us.
He's a well-studied individual. He's a student of the game, let's say. Learning the exploits. And I don't know if you've seen Old Guy Farmer's streams where he's got the little pro hopper out there mowing the cow pasture.
No, I heard you talk about it. I'm slowly getting through his stuff as well, trying to harvest out bits of knowledge and stuff.
Yeah, I plant. Mark says you just stack them outside. You just don't have to put them inside. I plan on storing the silage bales up by the sale barn. So when it does come time to sell them, I don't have far to take them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Plus, they're out of my way then, because they're not anywhere close to the main farmyard.
Well, then they'll be just fine.
I would guess the biggest question on my strategy is how much grass am I going to be able to mow, and how many bales are we going to be able to get. I've heard conflicting stories that you can either get 2 or 3 cuts of grass per year.
I think you can get. Well, I know for a fact you can get 2. You might even be able to get 3, especially on some of the stuff that you're cutting today.
I
I'm
noticed.
pretty sure on Lawfold's that first year, the first season, I believe I cut the grass field 3 times. Got 3 different cuttings on it.
Yeah, we put grass in first day, and the grass we planted appears to be one stage behind this grass. But come next year, that grass should be right at the same stage as this grass here. There's that big old bump. I was watching Bipolar Prophets series on Goldcrest Valley, where he made this area a field, and he was eternally plagued by those giant bumps in the field. Yeah, that's what I plan on doing, Mark. He's saying that you get more yield if you plow this grass up and put your own in. And that's my strategy exactly, is to basically take the areas that I've deliberately cleared the trees out of, and once we get the final cut, to plow it up and fertilize it and seed it, so that hopefully it's close to, if not at the same stage as the rest of the grass. Of course, I got to pay attention to ground temperature. I'm a bit excited because now I'm going to get to use more of the coon pack. I haven't had much opportunity to use much of it. So I looked at weeders and I thought they were a bit too expensive for what I'm going to need them for. But there's a really cheap fertilizer spreader that seems to have decent capacity and a decent spread on it to get that fertilizer state. Now, something I did notice today, because the Serenity Valley series has just entered into summer also. I started mowing there, and it looks like with seasons maybe your grass loses 2 fertilizer states, whereas before it would only lose 1. Is that behavior that you all have seen? I think once we mow this, we'll get the windrower out and see if we can't do a little windrow and follow me baling. Sadly, you can't drop that, you can't lower that mower, because then it just wants to turn out to the side. So it has to do a kind of drop from above thing. Alright, let's get some bales in the ground. Let's get some bales. Should probably pick up those chicken eggs too.
Yeah, I actually learned something new from your video today. I didn't know that there was a max for the chicken eggs.
Yeah, I think it's 22 on this map. I think it's set by the map author.
Sure.
Looks like we got a little junkie on our stream there for a few moments.
Well, Farmer Klein, I think I'm going to fire my stream up here in a few minutes. I'm going to spend some money, and I think we're going to chop some wood tonight.
All right.
Find something to do so that we can kind of make get some money and clear some room for field expansion prep for next year, for year 2. I think it's going to be kind of my strategy, make some of those original fields a little bit larger if they can be done. And so thanks for the invitation to stop by and say hi.
All right, well, thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
And I'll catch your stream on the replay.
All right. Well, have fun and good luck with all this baling.
Oh, yeah.
I look forward to seeing how it pans out.
All righty.
All right, take care, my friend.
All right, you too.
Bye.
All right, so hopefully I've got auto unload. Hopefully our hired helper will be able to unload everything by himself. If not, it's going to put a serious damper on this this plan to rake and bale at the same time. Oh, good. We'll just have them chase the round bales later. So one good thing about seasons and the grass rotting after 2 days is I don't need to be overly concerned about all these little grass bits that might get left that would normally just annoy the heck out of me because I would get a little OCD on it. So I don't have to worry about it because now they'll just rot away. Yeah, we'll definitely need to hope they don't get in the way because we don't have game extension in, so we can't give the bales a good 1-2 and toss them out of our way anymore. I'm not really sure how long it's going to be before we can take advantage of our fertilized grass. I assume we have to wait till the next growth stage, but I really don't know how long that's going to be. I don't know if we're going to have to wait until, because it seems like growth stages may be at the season midpoint. So if that's the fact, then we might not be able to grow or bale any of this field grass until the middle of summer. So that worries me a little bit, but hopefully we'll get a growth stage tomorrow on that grass. I don't know if growth stages are fixed by number of days or if they're fixed by kind of pre-programmed mile marks within the season's progression. There goes the bale. While we're waiting on him, let's look at these weeders. Mark says it'll pay off over 3 years. So what shies me away from that thing is the $80 a day for a weeder. Whereas this wonderful little device is $5 a day, 2,000 liters, and has a 20 meter spread. So it's basically got almost the same spread as this one at 24 meters, and it's $75 a day cheaper. So that's why I'm thinking about doing the fertilized spreader, because it's so cheap per day. It's almost like I don't have any cost in owning it. And if I'm only going to end up using it, you know, across all the fields, maybe 4 or 5 times a year, then $5 a day just to keep it. You know, the other option would be to, I guess, lease the weeder, the weeder, and return it when we're done. You know, at each stage. So who's following who here? I wonder if I could follow the guy that's following me, and then we just have a recursive follow me loop. I'm not going to try it, but it would be interesting. So I don't know if Mark's still here to comment on the $5 a day fertilizer spreader versus the weeder. Seem to be getting a decent amount of bales off this little bit of grass, knowing that it's just map grass. We're not getting a giant yield off of it. Wait up for my guy. This is going to be the worst part of this endeavor, is the waiting on the baler, I guess. But then it's the come on, lower down. There we go. It's the issue that we have because we didn't want to pay the fortune for the square bale wrapper as far as the maintenance goes. That thing was like ridiculous high maintenance. In fact, let's compare it. Let's go ahead and compare it to the in-game round bale wrapper. Where is it? So the round bale wrapper is $170 a day for maintenance. So even if you just went the cheapest route, you're still $280 a day between the small round baler and the small round bale wrapper. The in-game square baler is $190 a day, and the in-game Kuhn square wrapper is $220 a day. So to wrap square bales, it's very expensive if you're going to own that equipment. And of course, the big advantage with the square baler is it's continuous. I did look at the that Krone Ultima baler. Is that the one that does continuous baling and wrapping? And that thing was expensive also as far as daily maintenance goes. And then my understanding is I would have to also own, or not own, but deal with buying foil and netting. And I didn't really want to deal with that. think there's a patch out that basically fixes that issue. Got our baler doing all these tight turns. Alright, we're gonna fire our hired helper and just pick the rest up. I guess we should pick our baler up and fold it. Now let's see if we can't get connected to this trailer. There we go. Alright. We want round bales. Let's see how many we managed to actually get off of this little bit of grass. It's 3. What are you doing way over there? 4. 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, an even dozen. All right. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all, I guess. An even dozen bales off of that little bit of area. So it's what time is it? It is 9:47 p.m. We're going to put our equipment away. We're going to wash up our tractors because we haven't cleaned them since we bought them. And we got a pressure washer the other day. And then we're going to fast forward through the night, close out the stream, and we're going to come back for day 2 of summer. And guess what? We're going to mow the heck out of the grass. We kind of got a late start to our mowing today because we were busy. Grinding up stumps. But I want to go and actually, we're going to sell our eggs before we fast forward. clean our chicken. That is an option there. We could always get another mower and mow double the working width. I kind of thought about doing that the other day. I don't know if I mentioned it in stream or not, but I thought about it. I think when I was comparing the costs of the Big M to the other mowers. But that would get us a an 8-meter working width, I think, on the mowing. We got 75 eggs in our backpack. So this truck is the only thing we've got that has any speed to it. So when we do finally get around to picking up the gold nuggets, we're going to use this this semi to basically drive around. Should go over here and check the greenhouses. They should be pretty good because we stocked them up the other day. Yeah, they're good. They're all going to be at the same level. So at some point I'd like to buy that field there and put grass in it and take out all the trees that line that line the field. Is this it? No, one more block over. $427. It's going to be a bit before we can afford another mower, though. Unless we bring out the Scorpion King again. But now that we are in mowing weather, I want to spend every day mowing that we can and doing bales. Because I think that's going to be pretty good, easy money. All right. So it's 11:08, 11:09. We're going to go ahead and close out the stream. Give me a few minutes if you want to catch another episode, and we'll reset everything and we'll be right back. But should turn off the lights in here, and let's shut up the door. Alright, so we're going to save, and fast forward through the night, and save again. Just look at this. Vehicle running cost, $1,062. Property maintenance, $140. And property income, $5,184. So Looks like we had a pretty good net gain on that. We lost $184,000 yesterday because we bought all that stuff. And so far today we've earned $1,100 from our nice greenhouses. So let's go ahead and save it again. And we have no loan, so that's the most important part. Alright, so we're going to close out the stream. Give me a few minutes and we'll be right back with another episode.